Greetings, friends. Country Club Hillbilly here. I just wanted to do a little talk today. What is it, the 14th of September 2025? And out here at the farm today, did a little bit of metal detecting. Was looking for my arrows, broadheads from last year. I lost two of them. I lost the one that I hit the buck with, and I lost one shooting at a woodchuck. So they're roughly in the same 100-yard vicinity, but unfortunately couldn't find them then, couldn't find them now. So I did find an old spoon in the woods, so that was kind of cool. But other than that, I was out here for a couple hours and just meditating, thinking about things. If you follow the mainstream media, there was a lot of things that happened over the last week or so. I'm not going to mention names or headlines because it's important, but it's what can I do or what can you do about it other than to get upset and distracted. So it's kind of what I've been meditating on the last few days, seasons change, and what I would like to focus on is what really matters, not all those distractions. It changes the general public sentiment, mood, and again, it's a distraction. So what I'm trying to do is keep focused and retain my personal clarity. And, we're getting into fall here, and the seasons do change, just like the weather. And what really matters to you is important. I feel bad for people's lives that were directly affected by those actions last week. But like I said, ultimately it's a diversion, distraction to divert the masses' attention away from what really matters. And what really matters to me is family and friends. And over the last few years, my circle's gotten increasingly smaller. Not to say that I don't care about, friends that I haven't seen in years or months, but a lot of shit's got put into perspective. I'm trying to focus on my family, my business, my leisure, and of course, God plays an important part over all of that too. And just wanted to put down some words today. It's nice to get out here. Again, it's a Sunday morning. I probably should be at church. But I'm out here in the woods, at my cabin, my farm. So, what can you do? I've been trying to come up with a plan to stay off the phone, not watch TV, not surf the web, not do those things. So, just most often the first place to look is inside yourself. You don't need to look to the external world to validate yourself or any of that mumbo jumbo. You need to look inside and see what's going on under your roof, your house, because you can control what happens there, most of it anyway. So this is a deep take from the Country Club Hillbilly. Usually I'm walking around in the woods. I already did that today, but I didn't make a video or anything. So yeah, September, enter into fall. I really like fall. It's a beautiful time of the year. Summer's hot here in Michigan. Today's going to be a hot one too. It's going to be a boat day probably, so we'll probably be out there. And of course, want to watch the Lions play the Chicago Bears. That's another distraction, but it's one that I appreciate and I like, and I don't let it get me too down or too up. It's just it's something fun to do. It's entertainment. I wouldn't be betting my paycheck on any of the games or players, or I made a mistake about a year ago. I signed up for a betting app to bet on the horse race, and those guys call me and send me emails and texts, and I spent $50 on it, put it on number 5, and he didn't win, so I don't care. But that's not much of a gambler, but something fun to do again. But I'm not gonna risk my life savings every weekend or blame some poor college kid. Well, they're not poor anymore with all those deals they get for going to certain universities, but 19-year-old kid throws the ball to the other team and costs his school millions of dollars too. I guess there's a lot riding on that stuff, and I've got a child that's 20 years old myself, and I wouldn't want that kind of pressure on her to do that kind of stuff. So it's a diversion, but stay focused. Do your thing. There's a lot of bad people out in the world doing bad things, but what you can do is take care of your own people. That's important because they take care of you, and we as a society have kind of gotten misguided. It takes a village to raise a child, so it's tough. Everybody's out there for themselves, and if there's one thing you can do to help somebody else today, that would be nice. Whether it's helping your neighbor because they can't mow the lawn, or taking care of something for somebody that can't do it or can't afford it. That's a nice thing to do. And if everybody could do one thing for somebody else, I think it could make the world a much better place. So, helping people, that would be a welcome distraction or a diversion, And I think that's what really matters is people, helping them, because you don't know how somebody's day went, or their wife left them, or somebody they know got hurt or died, heaven forbid, of course. But these are the kind of things that I think about. It does make me sad to think about something happening like that to me or my family. So again, like I said, that there's forces that we don't see behind certain things too. So you got to keep that in mind. Just because you saw it on the internet or the web or TV or whatever doesn't necessarily mean that it's a factual thing. There's two sides to every story, maybe even more, of course, but, I just wanted to drop that off to you guys today. Hopefully you get the signal and do something nice for somebody. So have a great Sunday, a good week. Country Club Hillbilly out.